Okay, now we're good. I should have checked that before, but we're good. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Good Tuesday morning, everybody.
You had to think about it because you haven't had too much
I
sleep.
haven't. I have
Yeah,
had
your
very little
Monday
sleep.
night's going into Tuesday morning now, isn't
Very,
it? Tell everybody the truth there.
very little sleep today, or last night
Yeah, so
into
what was
today.
going on last night that had you up?
You know what?
I'm surprised you have a voice.
Ghosts.
Were you screaming?
I was not screaming, and here's why. I ended up adopting a cat yesterday,
Okay.
and I didn't want to scare her more
Well,
than
yeah,
she already
that would scare the
was.
cat. That's for sure.
But then I was like, well, if she can put up with me during this game, then she's a keeper.
She's probably going. I'm glad she's on here and I can get some rest.
No, it was a really good game last night. I know it was completely off your
By any
schedule.
chance, but yeah, for me, it's like you get up in the morning. Oh, they won.
Oh,
Oh,
neat.
that's nice. Did you happen to see Justin's story out of Ann
I
Arbor?
did.
Which the closed captioning on it was just That's all I heard through the whole thing this morning when we ran.
It was a good time, and I know that he really enjoyed it, which always makes the stories that we do so
Makes
much
the stories better,
So, and I will say that the university was very, very accommodating to us. They were very happy we were doing all of that stuff.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, especially since we're in enemy territory.
We broadcast to their territory too. We're all friends.
Anyway, I don't have your stuff up, so give me a second.
Oh, yeah, you sure don't.
I don't. I had the other
Yeah,
one up.
you have the other graphics unit.
The other thing was, I know that it started snowing like around my place a little bit late last night.
A little bit later, and we've held the temperature in the Lansing area just above freezing.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Which is a good thing. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, it's
It always-
snowing, but it's kind of melting. And they were out very early this
Yes.
morning. It was like 1:30. I'm driving in, and the salt trucks were already out and about. So, at least right now, the roads in the Lansing area are okay. Now we do have
That
some
was good for
school
me.
closings. They're all like pretty much near the state line, and of course they've been dealing with the snow a little bit longer than Lansing and Jackson.
I
So.
will say the sidewalks and parking lots were still a little slippy.
Oh yeah, I mean, so
Careful out there if you
just
haven't
be
gone out
aware
yet.
of that. I mean, technically, we still have our first alert weather day going. There is still a winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service until 11 a.m. So, morning we're dealing with snow. So, slow morning commute. We're going to continue to say that, although for many it's been just wet. Snip back the predicted snowfall just a little bit. I put that down in more of the 1 to 3 inch range
Okay.
before we switch over to rain, and that'll happen from south to north as we hit the afternoon hours. So here's what the different computer models are saying, and they've kind of nipped back the snowfall for today too with some updated information. I mean, earlier this morning we were, like 1 to 3, 2 to 4. Yeah, it's a couple of inches. These numbers here, they're for the Lansing area, but you could kind of stretch that to all of mid-Michigan. Here is pinpoint Doppler radar. It is showing snow. Now, areas that are seeing these little darker shadings of blue, if I can get this, my iPad is not happy with me today.
No, it's been being real
Yeah,
grumpy.
yeah, these little darker shadings of blue, that is where there is some moderate snow taking place. So, and it's all right now lifting to the north. Now, we widen the view out of the radar. You can see already northern Indiana, northern Ohio making the switch to rain. And we're going to do that here from south to north.
I was
So.
like, that just looks messy to me.
It is messy, and it's all with a storm. It's currently over Missouri, and
Okay.
this thing is going to be strengthening as it moves our way.
Okay.
So it is going to pull some warmer air in. We're going to make that switch. For the Lansing area to be right around noon or shortly afterwards, maybe like 10, 11 o'clock this morning in the Jackson area. And so, the worry of roads at that point is pretty much over. We top out in the upper 30s to around 40. And then tonight, after that storm goes by, number one, it's going to bring us gusty winds. We do it in reverse. We go rain back to snow, although the heavier moisture will be out ahead of the storm. So, precipitation starts to wind down later on tonight. This is downtown Lansing, where, again, they had the salt trucks out there. We had some snow on the ground when we were on the air earlier.
Yeah,
but
you can still see it on the roof.
yeah, you can sit on the roof. You look real close. There's
Near the bases of the trees, maybe.
little bit, but a lot of it has melted away right at 33 degrees. A little bit of fog out there, too, with
Yeah.
that visibility at 2 miles. Here is downtown Jackson.
It looks so pretty, actually.
Yeah, the snow a little more noticeable in the Jackson area. Again, they've been out working on the road, so those are just wet at this point. Temperature in Jackson, 33, and that's been kind of bouncing back and forth between 32 and 33 all morning long. So the actual low itself is in Missouri. It moves to the northeast. It passes overhead tonight, and then we get on the backside of it. It is scattered snow showers for us tomorrow. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. We stop it at noon. And that switch from snowflakes to raindrops just about into Lansing at noon is what this computer model's showing. And it will be in Lansing early afternoon. You get north of Gratiot County, north of Grand Rapids, it may stay snow all day. But Lansing and Jackson areas, we do go over to rain. You'll notice as the day goes on, the winds do start to pick up a little bit in speed and will be gusty at times.
So that kind of answers Michelle's question of what time will it switch to rain today in the Lansing?
I would think right around lunchtime,
Okay.
if not just a touch before. This is 10 p.m. You can see we're starting to see that
Right.
switch back to our west, and that'll happen during the overnight hours. But again, the bulk of the moisture is out of here, so by tomorrow morning, it is just some scattered snow showers that we deal with, and still some gusty winds tomorrow morning. Here are the predicted wind gusts. 3 o'clock today. You know, the roads will just be wet, but you're going to want to hold on to the steering wheel with both hands because wind gusts 35, maybe 40 miles per hour. That takes us into the evening hours and even overnight. That low moves by, still some wind gust overnight up around 35 or so miles per hour, and then they do start to settle down by midday tomorrow. Here is a look at our forecast for today, next 12 hours, and this is for Lansing. It's showing snow at 10 a.m., 33. Still snowflakes, although just depending on where you are, it could be raindrops at that point. 35 at noon. We have rain at 4. And sitting around 38, if not even a touch warmer than that, at 8 o'clock this evening. Our 7-day forecast looking this way. Tomorrow we do it in reverse, or tonight we do it in reverse. So we're talking raindrops first, snowflakes late, still windy. Our low tonight around 32. Mid-30s tomorrow, still wind gust in the morning. There'll be scattered snow showers. During the day tomorrow, really not anticipating much in the way of any accumulation. Some light snow on Thursday.
So still a good amount of snow chances.
And this right there are the days we need to watch.
Okay.
So, you know, this far out, obviously computer models can't be believed sometimes. But if you want to believe what it's saying right now, it's saying that would be all snow for us and would be accumulating snow.
Well, and it's a lot of temperatures right around there that are below freezing too.
Yeah.
So
next 5 days. Today, snow, you know, it's kind of down there close to the light category. Couple of inches in the most extreme areas. That would be it today. Tomorrow, any accumulating snow would be early in the day. Thursday, we're talking light snow, but then Friday and Saturday, at least right now, but this could change, kind of puts us up there in the moderate and in parts of the state, even up into the heavy category. So.
Well, I know we've talked about it a lot last week and even a little bit into the week before about how there's a lot of businesses, a lot of companies, a lot of employment that depends on this kind of weather across the state, really.
Our plow people here at the station, I mean, they were out putting salt down, about 5 o'clock or so this morning. Yep. So, yeah, you know, and you really needed to. I mean, when you're hovering, you know, right around 33 degrees, you drop 2 degrees, things could change out there real quick. But, you know, now that it's daylight, I think we will continue to see that inch up a little bit.
Well, as we look forward to that Saturday and Sunday, was it Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
And by the way, next week, highs are in the teens, lows are in the single digits.
Ooh, so the cold is coming.
We have been spoiled.
We have been,
It's been like a nice stretch. It's going to be the middle of January by that point, and yeah.
It's true.
It's time.
Well, speaking of time and keeping track of things, the best way to do that when you're not watching this or our broadcast, obviously.
How do you do that?
The News 10 First Alert Weather app.
We have updates on there all the time. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were doing an update on our First Alert Weather Day for today, which I suspect we are going to let fade away here a little later on this morning. You get our updated forecast. You can check out the radar. Our not only just our forecast, but any sorts of watches or warnings or severe weather statements from the National Weather Service. They are on there as well. Look for it on Google Play and the Apple App Store. It's free. Just search for WILX Weather.
So I looked at it this morning. I pulled it up. It was still set on Baltimore.
Oh, and you're going,
Yeah, it was like flood watch, coastal flooding, like all this stuff.
Yeah, we have big coastal flooding problems
I was like,
here,
what is
right?
going on? What is happening to the Great Lakes? And then I realized it was from Baltimore because I was looking at the weather from Saturday with the Baltimore Pittsburgh game.
You can look at the weather for anywhere in the country. It's probably best though when you leave it on like follow me, and then it will change depending on where the phone is. But sometimes you do want to look at the weather. I'm like, let's see what it's like in Honolulu.
It looked miserable. It looked miserable in Baltimore.
And it
Saturday
pulls
night.
up their forecast and their hour by hour forecast. But yeah, if you don't unswitch that, you can have some surprises sometimes.
So Sarah wants to know, when will the real feel in the 20s, and how is it going to rain?
When will the real feel?
With the real feel in the 20s, how is it going to rain?
Well, the real feel is no term that we use.
Okay.
That is actually a copyrighted term from a company called AccuWeather, so you're probably using their weather app.
Okay.
It is what we would call the wind chill or the heat index.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I hope so. So that's how.
So what was the question there?
With the real feel in the 20s, how is it going to rain?
Well, the real feel is just what it
It
feels
should
like
be.
with the winds, which we call the wind chill. So you
Okay.
can have a temperature that, let's say, is 34, but you got a gusty wind, and the wind chills are in the 20s.
Okay, so it doesn't. The precipitation
It,
type
it's-
doesn't
it
depend.
sticks with the temperature, not
Okay.
what the wind chill, which
Okay.
is just what it feels like on those of us with warm blood on our skin.
Wouldn't know.
So the dog, it affects. If you're a turtle, it really doesn't.
So hopefully that answers your question, Sarah. If you have any other questions, of course, as you're watching this live, you can.
So
let us know.
this afternoon, it's going to feel like the 20s, but there'll be rain because we're going to be well above freezing.
Okay, interesting.
I had it like the real feel. Yeah, that's somebody else.
Okay, so we're-
Download our weather app.
Yeah, this one right here, and it'll explain everything.
That's right. It's better.
So
Ask us. We'll tell you.
Justin will be here around 11, and he's going to have the latest update, which is right around the time that we might be.
I suspect we may let the alert day run through the 11 a.m. news, and it'll go away, and then then our attention turns to Friday, Saturday, and that one there is at this point no question in the form of the precipitation.
Okay.
Because this one was always it could be rain, it could be snow, it could be a mix, but right now that looks like it's all snow.
All right.
Surprise.
Well, tune in to News 10 today at 11. Justin will have the latest there, along with Taylor Gattoni and your headlines. And here's some of those headlines you can see. Happening today, the Save a Life Tour will be making a stop at Dansville High School to educate students there on the dangers of driving impaired or drunk. Or distracted. I'm sorry, impaired or distracted. So we have a crew out there to get all of that for you. Plus, the state of Michigan is dishing out over $14 million to remove unemployment barriers for at-risk Michiganders. And a very popular Michigan-based cereal is doing something a little fun to celebrate the University of Michigan's championship win last night.
And it will be the most expensive box of cereal you have ever
and
bought.
I have already pre-ordered it.
Of course you have.
So we got a couple more questions. Hillsdale City, snow has all but stopped.
It has, and you're making that switch over to rain.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Catherine, I would be curious how much snow you have picked up.
Yeah, let us know.
Because we don't get a lot of observations, like, how much fell. But I'd be curious about that because our school closings are all kind of in Branch and Hillsdale County.
That's the other question. Dina wants to know, should we keep our children home from school?
Depending on where you are, if your school's open, obviously they feel it's safe. In the Lansing area right now, even though it is snowing, the roadways are just wet.
Yeah.
So.
So it all depends. You can check.
And we're all going to be doing the switch over to rain. So.
Right. And you can check those school closings both on the First Alert Weather app, on our website, so you can find out.
Yeah. But, if it's open, I'd send them.
Why not?
Just get him out of the house.
Yeah, go ahead, go. But thank you guys so much for your questions. This is exactly why we do this sort of show for you guys, so you can ask in real time what's going on, and we can kind of explain everything a little bit further. So, like we said, Justin will be back around 11, and that's when Taylor Gattoni will have more on News 10 today at 11. We'll also do a check-in this afternoon after the switchover has happened, and I will have Tim Stout over here later in the afternoon. I'm gonna talk to him nicely.
You should ask him to do the weather too.
I'm gonna talk to him nicely about how much smack he was talking about Michigan yesterday.
He was just doing it just to get you all riled.
And it worked. And
yeah, don't let him rile you.
I know. But if you have any questions, comments, anything like that over Michigan's win last night, looking ahead to the Lions on Sunday, which you can watch right here on WILX. We also have Mark D'Antonio getting elected into the College Football Hall of Fame. So lots of stuff to talk about today. Stay tuned online and on air, and we will have all of it for you. Other than that, have a great Tuesday. Stay safe out there, and we will see you later.